Have you ever wondered what life was like on Alcatraz Island, the infamous rock in the middle of the San Francisco Bay? Imagine a lonely island, a solitary speck amidst the swirling currents of the Pacific, standing like a silent sentinel in the heart of San Francisco Bay. This is Alcatraz Island, a place that evokes a sense of intrigue and mystery as much as it does dread and foreboding. Wedged in the bay's treacherous waters, Alcatraz's strategic location was recognized early on. In the mid-19th century, the United States Army transformed this barren outcrop into a formidable military fortress. Alcatraz was designed to serve as the first line of defense against potential naval attacks, its isolation and rugged terrain making it an ideal fortress. Imagine massive cannons pointing out towards the sea, ready to unleash their fury at the first sign of an enemy ship. Picture thick walls of stone and iron, designed to withstand the onslaught of cannon fire. This was Alcatraz in its early days, an isolated fortress standing as a bulwark against threats to the burgeoning city of San Francisco. But Alcatraz was not just a fortress. It was also a place of isolation. Surrounded by the frigid, treacherous waters of the San Francisco Bay, it was virtually impregnable. The island's isolation was its greatest defense, a natural moat that kept enemies at bay. It was this isolation that lent Alcatraz its nickname, the Rock. Yet paradoxically, this isolation also made Alcatraz a place of vulnerability. Cut off from the mainland, the fortress was dependent on supply ships for food, water, and other necessities. It was a place of harsh realities, where the men stationed there had to contend with the relentless Pacific winds, the biting cold, and the constant threat of attack. This military fortress, however, had another fate awaiting it, a fate that would etch its name into the annals of American history. As we delve deeper into the story of Alcatraz, we'll uncover how this isolated fortress became a symbol of fear and fascination, a place that still captivates our imaginations today. As the years rolled on, the island's role shifted dramatically, plunging it into a darker chapter of its existence. The mid-19th century fortress, once bristling with military might, took on a new, more ominous role. By 1934, Alcatraz had transitioned from a fortress to a federal penitentiary, a shift as profound as it was chilling. What prompted this transformation, you may ask? The answer lies in the very nature of the island itself. Alcatraz, with its isolated location in the heart of the San Francisco Bay, was a fortress not just by design, but by geography. Surrounded by treacherous waters known for their icy temperatures and strong currents, escape from the island was a perilous endeavor. This natural moat rendered Alcatraz an ideal place for a prison, a place from which escape was next to impossible. And so, the fortress that once defended the coast was repurposed into a stronghold for those deemed too dangerous for the mainland. The cells that once housed soldiers now became the new homes for criminals, the barracks transformed into cell blocks. The island's isolation, once a strategic advantage, now became a sentence for those confined within its walls. The island's nickname, the Rock, took on a new, chilling significance. But it wasn't just the island's isolation that made it suitable for this dark new role. Its past as a military fortress had left it with a robust infrastructure, including a solidly built cell house. This, coupled with the island's isolation, made Alcatraz almost escape-proof. Indeed, the prison was considered so secure that it was designated a maximum security facility, one equipped to house the most dangerous of criminals. With this transformation, Alcatraz was no longer just a fortress or a military prison, it was now a federal penitentiary, a place where the most notorious criminals of the time would be confined. The island's past as a military fortress had set the stage for its future as a prison, and its isolation and formidable defenses would ensure its place in history as one of the most infamous prisons in the world. With its transformation into a maximum security prison, Alcatraz was ready to house some of the most notorious criminals of the era. The isolated island now echoed with the sounds of clanging bars and the footsteps of infamous inmates. Thus began the era of incarceration on Alcatraz Island, a period that stretched from 1934 until 1963. This was a time when Alcatraz fully embraced its reputation as a maximum security federal prison, a place where society's most feared and notorious criminals were sent to serve their time. One such inmate was Al Capone, the infamous mob boss of Chicago, known as much for his ruthless business practices as his flamboyant lifestyle. His reign of terror came to an end when he was sentenced and sent to Alcatraz, where he was just another prisoner, stripped of his power and influence. Then, there was George "Machine Gun" Kelly, who earned his nickname from his weapon of choice. His criminal activities spanned across the United States, leaving a trail of robberies and kidnappings. His final destination was Alcatraz, where he traded his machine gun for prison garb. But it wasn't just the infamous inmates that made Alcatraz notorious. The prison conditions were equally daunting. The cells were small and cold with minimal comforts. The rules were strict and the punishments severe. The island's isolation and the treacherous waters surrounding it made escape attempts nearly impossible. The prison's daunting reputation was well earned. Yet, even the toughest prisons have their limits. The cost of maintaining such a facility, especially one located on an island, became unsustainable. The prison's isolation, once its greatest strength, became a liability. The cost of transporting supplies and personnel, along with the deterioration of the buildings, led to its closure. Despite its notorious reputation, by 1963, the era of Alcatraz as a federal prison was coming to an end. But as the prison doors closed, the island's story was far from over. It was just the end of one chapter with many more to come in the fascinating history of Alcatraz Island. The echoes of the past still linger on Alcatraz Island, but its present is far removed from its former life. In the year 1963, the once dreaded maximum security fortress shut its doors for the last time, marking an end to an era steeped in notoriety and despair. The closure of the prison was due to several factors, including the immense cost of operations and the deteriorating structures that were too expensive to maintain. But the island did not fade into obscurity. Instead, it underwent an astonishing transformation. From a place of confinement and punishment, Alcatraz Island transitioned into a beacon of tourism, attracting history enthusiasts and those intrigued by its dark past from all corners of the globe. Today, visitors to Alcatraz embark on boat tours that offer them a glimpse into the haunting past. They traverse the prison's eerie cells, still echoing with the whispers of the inmates who once inhabited them. These cells, once a symbol of fear and isolation, now stand as a stark reminder of a bygone era. But there's more to Alcatraz than the remnants of its infamous prison. The island is also home to the historic Alcatraz Lighthouse, the oldest operating lighthouse on the west coast of the United States. It's a beacon that has guided countless mariners through the treacherous waters of the San Francisco Bay, and it continues to stand tall, a symbol of resilience amidst the waves. The remnants of the military fortress also draw visitors' interest. The crumbling structures where soldiers once patrolled and cannons roared lend an air of solemnity, a stark contrast to the bustling city skyline of San Francisco just a short distance away. Alcatraz Island has indeed come a long way from its days of notoriety. It has shed its skin of dread, replacing it with an allure that is both captivating and chilling. Today, Alcatraz Island stands as a haunting testament to its past, a captivating tourist destination, and a chilling reminder of the darker chapters of American history. Alcatraz Island, or The Rock, carries with it a legacy that continues to intrigue and captivate. This isolated fortress in the heart of the San Francisco Bay has been a silent witness to some of the most notorious chapters in American history. Its formidable walls, once a haven for the country's most dangerous criminals, now echo with the voices of past inmates, their stories forever imprinted on the cold stone and steel. It's hard to fathom that Alcatraz, which began as a military fortress in the mid-19th century, would transition into such a chilling symbol of incarceration. From the likes of Al Capone to Machine Gun Kelly, the island served as a bleak home to figures whose names still send shivers down our spines. Their dark deeds and the island's inescapable confines are as intertwined as the rusted bars of the prison cells. Yet, Alcatraz is not merely a relic of a bygone era, it's a testament to the resilience and transformative power of history. After the penitentiary closed its doors in 1963, the island began a new chapter. The haunting cells, the remnants of the military fortress, and the historic Alcatraz Lighthouse now attract visitors from around the globe, each one eager to explore this captivating blend of criminal history, scenic beauty, and architectural significance. The enduring appeal of The Rock lies in its ability to transport us back in time, to immerse us in a world that feels both distant and eerily familiar. It's a tangible link to a past that stirs the imagination and fuels our fascination with the human spirit's darker side. And for history buffs, it's a treasure trove of stories that continue to unfold, each one adding another layer to the island's rich tapestry. From a military fortress to a maximum security prison, and now a tourist destination, Alcatraz Island remains an indelible part of American history, forever etched in stone and memory.